All right, guys, welcome back to Zando Football. Definitely appreciate the support. In this video, we're going to get into the differences between double bracket switch, and I believe it's called bracket switch Willie. Okay, and it's a very simple difference between the three. So this is double bracket. And this is how they will line up when you call double bracket or double bracket switch. They will line up, they will double the same players. Okay, so the first question you need to ask yourself is there a slot? All right, this is the best way to put it. Is there a slot on the field? If there is a slot, then they are going to double it. Okay, the safety and the corner will double the slot, and then the receiver on the opposite end, okay, on the opposite side of the center, the number one on this side will be doubled. That's the easiest way to know who's going to be doubled when you call double bracket or double bracket switch. So I will go into a different formation really quickly. Okay, this is a different formation. Is there a slot? The answer is yes, right? So he's getting doubled, and then the player on the opposite end, the number one from the opposite end, he's getting doubled by the other safety. Okay, so we are doubling the slot and we're doubling pretty much the X on the opposite end. Okay, that's how that works. All right, and obviously we are forced to be man-to-man on the remaining receivers. Okay, so what happens if we don't get a slot? I didn't check this. I picked a play where there was a motion from the slot into the backfield. So forgive me if this is something I will check and then throw in the notes. But as you see here, when we get that motion there, then because there is no slot, now they're doubling both of the outside receivers. Okay. So the only reason why I say that is because I didn't check on I formations. So I would assume in a typical I, this is what you would get. All right. So now we are going to get into the difference between these defenses. What do they mean by bracket switch and just regular bracket? Okay. And the main focus that comes to all this is, some people may not know this. Okay, here's another formation. Is there a slot? Yes. So he's double. So then the number one on the opposite end gets doubled as well. That's how that works. All right, so I'll clear this and I'll get straight to the point here. Okay, so some people don't know, this player we're playing cover two man, okay? The way he plays man coverage is not the same as how he would play if he was in cover one man. And the way he plays in cover one man in man-to-man coverage is not the same he would play in cover zero. Okay, and the reason why that is, this is a timeless, I don't want to say cliche, this is just the way it is when it comes to defense, offense, everything in football. You are always trying to play to your help, always. That's the way I see it, okay? So in two-man, where's our help? Let's just take a look at this defender, man-to-man. Let's say our receiver is here, all right? So, our help is the deep half safety behind us, and we want to use the sideline as well. So that's why they will play with inside leverage on the line of scrimmage, and they will look to press and reroute this receiver to the outside. Okay, you don't want to give up the inside. It's the one. You don't want to give away the inside while playing two-man as the man-to-man defender on the outside here. Okay, same with this. He will play with inside leverage, and they will reroute, and then even when they run the route, okay, this player is looking to play underneath trail inside hip. Again, because everything is relative to your help. You have over-the-top help by the deep half safety. Okay, so I'll move on. And the reason why I go over stuff like that is because that translates to what we're going to show you with double bracket and all that. Okay, cover one robber, it's a little bit different. Okay, now on the outside, let's say we put this receiver in the same location. Okay, let me clear that. I'm going to put the receiver here, same spot. Okay, well, we're going to play with inside leverage. However, we are not going to play underneath hip trail. Okay, so we're not going to play underneath hip. And the reason why is because, well, now our help is vastly different than what it was in two-man. In two-man, we had the deep half safety over the top, so we can afford to play underneath inside trail. Actually, that kind of optimizes the coverage in man-to-man coverage on the outside, right? But in cover one man, if you were to play that way, okay, I'm pretty sure you can see the problem here. Okay, right over the top, and you have no safety over the top to deny an easy path to the end zone with a throw deep into the outside, right? So they play differently. And I have videos on cover one man where you have the divider lines and you play, you know, inside or outside leverage based upon where you are relative to the divider line and all that. So definitely go check out my videos on that, all right? And again, this all translates over to what I'm going to show you with bracket, all right? And it's the same with cover zero. Now, you may say, well, hey, man, in cover zero, they really don't have any help. There's no safety help. Well, yeah, there's no safety help. However, your help is on the field. Your help is the blitz, okay? And then obviously relative to where you are on the field, like this player here, you know, you can use the sideline as your help if the receiver aligns outside the numbers. Okay, so, you know, when you play cover zero stock, you will notice the defenders playing off coverage, and I don't think they're as good as they should be in off man in the game of Madden and when you play cover zero. But when you play cover zero, you know, they could be a little bit more aggressive on short breaking routes because you know the ball has to come out quick. Okay, so you're going to play man a little bit differently in cover zero, cover one, two man, again, because you are playing to your help, and your help is different in all those different coverages. All right, so let's get on with double bracket. Double bracket, and again, so I already showed who gets doubled, okay? And this is the assignments here, okay? So, again, is there a slot? Yes, so he's getting doubled, and then the X, or the number one on the opposite side, gets doubled, and now we are man-to-man here. Okay, the defender on this side, he's going to play press man inside leverage on one strong. Okay. Now, it doesn't matter if it's regular double bracket or double bracket switch. On the single receiver side where they are doubling this guy, this will remain the same. Okay, so what do I mean by outside edge and inside edge? I know this may sound kind of corny, but to me it's easier to kind of see it this way. What I mean by edge is we are doubling a receiver, okay? And you can double a receiver in different ways. You can have a guy playing over the top and a guy playing under the receiver, or you can have a defender playing outside the receiver and one playing inside the receiver. Okay, there's different types of bracket type coverages. The reason why I call it edge is because what's inside and outside at the same time? The edge, right? I know it's kind of corny, but so the reason why I put that is because they're playing inside and outside when it comes to Madden when they double here, not over the top and underneath, okay? So we're playing inside and outside. I'm the outside edge on 1 week, and you are the inside edge. And in regular double bracket, the slot, the safety is playing inside edge on the slot, and this guy's playing outside edge on the slot. That's how that works, all right? And the good thing about this is now, let's say, you know, we're not doubling this guy. Well, if we weren't doubling this guy and I was playing outside leverage on this receiver, now obviously you wouldn't want to do that due to where the help is, but it's just an example. Even though I'm playing outside leverage, I still can't be way too aggressive on outside breaking routes or an outside release. Okay, I can be a little bit more aggressive if I'm playing relative to my help, okay? Reason why I say that is because, you know, you still have to defend when this guy goes inside. Well, when you are doubling, okay, and you know you have inside man-to-man help, this allows this defender to be really aggressive on outside breaking routes. Okay, so imagine if we were moved further inside here. Okay, and the corner is here, playing outside leverage, knowing he has a safety playing inside help. Well, if this guy were to run something like an out, okay, we can be really aggressive on that out. Not in fear of like a double move, because you have this guy playing over the top and inside. Okay. And, you know, the same goes for the opposite end. If this guy were to run an inside breaking route, this guy can be very aggressive on inside breaking routes, knowing that the corner is now outside. So if he breaks on a double move, you have help to the outside, okay? You're able to be a lot more aggressive as this defender because you have inside help. This is important when it comes to this coverage, all right? Which is what I'm gonna make another video on this stuff, okay? So whether you play bracket or double bracket switch, okay, you are going to have these two defenders on the wide receiver side on the X. Corner's going to play outside, safety's going to play inside. Now the problem with the game of Madden, that safety on the X plays terribly on inside breaking routes, as you see here. You see that looks pretty good right away, but he consistently gets beat on inside breaking routes. So hopefully they clean that up in some type of update, and we'll see what happens. Okay. I believe this is the same double bracket. As you can see, look, the safety's playing inside leverage of the slot. I'm playing outside leverage. And watch this, the outside defender. You see how, you know, you really can't throw that outside breaking route. I am playing hard to the outside because I have inside hard help. Okay. Where it changes with double bracket switch. All right, so this is double bracket. Now we're going to look at double bracket switch. It's a very simple difference. It's still the same on the single receiver side. So the corner is going to play outside edge, safety is going to play inside edge. Okay, we're playing in and out on the X. But where it changes in double bracket switch is here. Okay, before the safety was playing inside and the corner underneath was playing outside leverage, but now we switch, hence double bracket switch. I'm going to play inside leverage and you're going to play outside leverage. That's the difference between double bracket and double bracket switch. It's all about the slot. Double bracket, safety's inside. Double bracket switch, corner plays inside. That's the only difference from what I've seen. Okay, so we'll go ahead and play it and you will see how it plays different. Okay, and what I noticed, look at the safety. He plays very well on that outside breaking route. Okay, what I notice is when the safety plays outside leverage on the receiver, he plays his assignment so much better as opposed to when he's playing inside leverage. That's why I love double bracket switch so much better. It has nothing to do with the actual coverage, but everything to do with how badly the game is coded with how the safety plays with inside leverage. Okay, so again, this is bracket. Everything is on the screen, and when you go to double bracket switch, the only change, everything's the same, but these two switch responsibilities. Now, he doesn't align here, he aligns outside, okay? So now, because you know the difference between the two, and because I went over two-man, see, I did that on purpose. Okay, so that's how they align in double bracket switch. Okay, so I wanted to show the alignment so there's no confusion. All right. Well, now you know how bracket switch Willie plays. Okay, so you know that's why I layered that with the two-man under, right? So what are we doing in bracket? Who are we doubling? Well, is there a slot? And that is who is going to get doubled here. Okay, switch. That means the corner is going to play inside leverage on the slot and the safety is going to play outside leverage. Okay, and then we have the Willie. So how is this player going to play? Well, he has a deep half safety. Okay, so guess what? He's going to play with inside leverage on his receiver. Okay, so that is the differences between the three. And yes, there are certain scenarios where you may want to play bracket, double bracket. There's situations where bracket switch is better. There's certain situations to where you want to play bracket switch Willie. I can go over something right now, what I would do. Let's just do something with bracket switch Willie and who to user. How about, let's say we user the deep half safety, okay? And as a safety in a split safety coverage, okay? As a safety, we can read our unit, okay? And what I mean by unit is you're the deep half. Let's say they come out in a formation like this where we have 2 on this side, and obviously we have the 3 over here, okay? So, you know, we're not really too concerned about what's going on over here. Everyone's covered here, okay? We are concerned with these players, and, you know, the reason why is because, especially our corner, he is playing in a way that dictates that we don't leave him out to dry, okay? You can't pick this safety and then play hard underneath on like a crossing pattern from this side with this player going deep up the field. And the reason why is because he doesn't know what you're doing. He thinks you're in deep half. Okay, so he's gonna play with underneath inside hip trail. And if you don't play your responsibility as a deep half safety, okay, your opposing quarterback can attack that deep over the top, okay? So what do I mean by read the unit? What we can do is at the snap of the ball, we're reading outside in as a deep half safety, and we're looking at the release of the number 1 and reading his route. And if he breaks inside, say on like an in, okay, well, now we don't necessarily have to continue to expand or widen, okay? We can then get our eyes on number 2, right? Let's say the number 2 runs a corner. Well, that would be an instance to where I would just drive on the corner, okay? Outside leverage, knowing that my inside backer is playing inside leverage, okay? We can draw up another route combination. Let's say we get something like runs the out, he goes in, yeah, I would actually attack that as a deep half safety. I was thinking maybe you should hang and play a little bit more post control because you don't want to give up a lot of space from something like the slot. But looking at this coverage, we really don't have to worry about the slot. And the reason why is because you are supposed to play hard inside leverage. Oh no, this is bracket switch. This guy is playing hard inside leverage. He's playing hard outside leverage. You guys should have the slot covered. So I shouldn't be worried about the number 2 weak on a deep post, right? So yeah, that's why I would aggressively almost double this guy if he were to burst inside and burst out, right? I mean, we can go on and on all day. I'm not going to do that, but the way you play coverage, you can read particular routes, and especially with the switch stick, we can you know, play a little bit more dynamic, have a dynamic defense that matches routes, switch off defenders who are breaking, who has to play inside leverage. You know, the receiver goes outside, you know, and now you have someone who's attacking that outside route. We can switch off and get that inside defender and then rob the middle of the field, read the quarterback. So a lot of different things you can do with that switch stick, okay? So hopefully I make more videos on this. I actually do have a video already done on double bracket switch and how I shut down a particular formation with it. And, you know, I hope you keep coming back for more, man. Peace.